In the heart of Cape Town, a quiet revolution is taking place at the Salesian Institute Youth Projects. A groundbreaking initiative is transforming lives and challenging the status quo. Join me, Sam Marshall, in the Social Newscast brought to you by Social TV as we step inside the Stitch Ahead sewing program's micro factory and discover how skill development and empowerment are creating sustainable change for at-risk youth. In this interview with Frieda Pehlivan, communications manager of SIYP, we'll unravel the inspiring story behind their mission and the real impact it's having on the lives of Cape Town's most vulnerable. In your own words, kind of just share what the Institute does.
So the Salesian Institute Youth Projects has been around since 1910. It was started off by the Salesian of Don Bosco order. And then over years, there was various programs on youth at risk in Cape Town. Started off for street children to what it is today, a youth development program offering 4 different programs to youth in and around Cape Town. Skills development and basic education. So we have 4 main programs at the moment, and we're based in Greenpoint, Cape Town. So we've been around and we work specifically with youth at risk.
So we're going to jump into this micro factory, but I want to, just before we talk about this innovation, which I consider to be a real innovation, just talk to me about this program, because there is a project that you're running called the Stitch Ahead Sewing Program.
Yes.
And how that aligns to your mission to empower women from disadvantaged backgrounds.
So we've started off in 2022 launching the program purely because with our Ways of Change maritime program, which prepares youth for working at sea, we found that many of the women attended the program out of being desperate for employment, and they're not really cut out for that kind of life and work on a fishing vessel. Really hard work, physically daunting, and they have children at home, so they can't be away on at sea for weeks at a time. So we thought we need to offer them an alternative, and we had a venue where we previous years had a sewing course, but that was dormant since 2018. Saw the opportunity, revived it, and we're calling it Stitch Ahead program. So it's a 3-month program where ladies that can read and write. So you don't have to have a matric or a certain school grade. You just need to have basic reading and writing skills. Attend the program, 3 months, basic hand and machine sewing techniques. So at the end of the 3 months, they graduate. We have a little graduation ceremony in the form of a fashion show. And they then are able to make certain basic clothing equipment. And before they graduate, we take them through a short business program, showing them how to start their own little ventures in their communities. Basic business principles like costing, applying for finance, branding. So they know if they step out of Stitch Ahead, they do not necessarily have to go into the mainstream employment factories, which some of them do. They can, from home, start their own little enterprise. So that's how Stitch Ahead is currently progressing. An amazing project. And it's not just women that attend it. We have men that love sewing, so they join us. And we have some amazing stories. And it's a young program, and the success is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd like to be one of those men that join that program. I'd love to learn how to do. I do all this teaching at home when the kids' clothes are broken, but I think I could do with some formal guidance. Now so your program has actually reached a significant milestone, and I want you to kind of just share that with me, especially on this journey towards self-sustainability and community impact.
So it's very important because, we're an NGO, we rely on funding to run our programs. So where we can, we try and develop our programs so it sort of becomes a little bit more self-sustainable, and we do not always have to rely on so much funding from outside. And in that regard, we have an amazing partner that's been pivotal in development of this program. And the Waterfront Rotary Club chose the Salesian Institute Youth Projects as their legacy program. So they spend a lot of time with us, guiding us and introducing us to potential partners that can take us to the next level. So they recently said to us, let's do something different. At the very same time, and we were so fortunate in that respect, PSG donated quite a number of brand new industrial sewing machines and overlockers and irons to us, that we set up in the facility right next to the sewing class. And Rotary saw the opportunity and said, but this is here, let's use it. Let's create a little micro factory. So they guided us through the process, and there was an opportunity where we could get involved in a canal swim event that takes place on 6 April at the waterfront. So we got involved there, got 5 of the ex-graduates from Stitch Ahead to come back in for a week, and they made drawstring bags, 300 of them. So that was our proof of concept right there, that this is going to work. Fantastic. Everybody enjoyed it. They made a little bit of money on the side.
That sounds amazing.
And now our project is set for new ventures to come on board, new partners to come on board. So we get our graduates back in for those small projects, and they will then earn a small little income from it. And at the very same time, we can put money back into the program as well.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely amazing. And I must admit though, and I think there's loads of people, I hopefully I'm not the only one, but if you don't mind, just very quickly explain what's the idea of a micro factory? How does it work in relation to a normal factory with big machines? Or is it something similar, or is it something cute?
You know what? It's something similar on a very small scale. So we have the industrial equipment, but we have a smaller facility, and it's for small scale projects. So it's for your boutique that wants to make skirts, a couple of skirts. It is a retail outlet that wants to make bespoke cushion covers. It is an event that wants specific drawstring bags branded. So 300 to 1,000 at one time, not thousands at one time. So we can, we are in relation to how we are set up. So it's not huge scale factory, it's for your smaller projects.
Yeah, you already talked about how these partnerships, for example, with the Waterfront Rotary Club adds to the sustainability of the project, and how organizations like PSG Financial Services coming in and donating all that equipment and stuff really enhances the sustainability and the viability of the project. But I just want to quickly, for our listeners, if you could, maybe a little bit, just kind of explain why this project is so important for these graduates and how it will enhance their economic advancement. You talked already about, you've already done, you're now working with the Waterfront Rotary Club. But I think sometimes we, as people that are not working in your environment, in the community, we don't really understand the depths of an opportunity like this for a woman who now has the potential to earn an income, for that man who now has another skill. Because in some instances, these are the poorest of the poor. They're in broken down communities. They don't really have access to finances in the way that you and I can maybe walk into a Woolworths and go and buy, at the drop of a hat, go and buy something. So if you could just set the scene for us, who are these beneficiaries and where do they come from?
Yeah, so these are young people up to the age of 35, between 18 and 35. They come from at-risk communities. They obviously has been unemployed for quite some time. They have no means of studying further, of enrolling into education facilities to further themselves. They don't know where to start. So coming to the Salesian Institute and then completing one of our courses, such as the Stitch Ahead program, gives them a skill. It evokes a passion within them. They start seeing that there is light in the end of the tunnel. There is opportunities and possibilities. So once they leave us, we now need to support them. We can't just complete the course and leave them to their own devices. We need to now guide them and try and create opportunities for them. So they do enter some form of employment, self-employment or formal employment. They need to be financially a little bit more independent, giving them their dignity back so that they can stand on their own 2 feet and be productive citizens in South Africa. That is our main goal. We need to provide opportunities so they can become part of the economy of South Africa and feel dignified.
Now, as you invite Cape Town's businesses and industries to consider utilizing this micro factory, the resources for smaller size sewing projects, as you said, this is not for mass production. Yes. What unique value proposition does this project offer in terms of craftsmanship, customization, and social impact?
So we have facilitators that are really good in the subject field. They guide the graduates. They stand by them. The project that is taken on board usually provides us with the guidelines as to the quality they require. We will make concept product and get approval, and we will make sure that it is to the client's quality standards. So we have graduates on our books that we can call up and we can very quickly get them in to start on the next project.
Thanks, Frieda. Have a great weekend.